Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to listen up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Thank you, KK. Phil and Ryan on Listen Up. Ryan, the last day of September. Tomorrow, we will be turning the calendars to October 1st. And a lot of people catching this, we hope that they are getting their good sleep right now. And we will probably, they actually will probably be watching this, Ryan, when they turn the calendars over tomorrow. So they'll be watching this October 1st, a lot of them. Phil and Rye back on Listen Up. We appreciate everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. And in this episode, we're going to head on right downtown, right in the waters, in that hot topic, the hot series that Ryan loves, and that's continuing the breakdown of the 2024-25 roster, UConn women's basketball. Ryan, you told me next up on the list, Jana El Alfy. Jana El Alfy, the spotlight goes on El Alfy on Listen Up tonight on the 30th. But Ryan, you told me that she has yet to play. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. She has yet to play in a well, she has put on UConn shirts, right? We've seen her on the
Yeah.
sideline, but she has yet to play for the UConn Huskies.
Yeah, the last freshman to go over on the roster. And of course, Yana is a redshirt freshman and has been with the team for about a year and a half now. She joined the team all the way back in January of 2023 as an early enrollment and did not compete that season. And of course, she was expected to have a great season last year as her first official freshman season, but unfortunately, she did get injured while competing with her national team, which is Egypt. So she was forced to miss all of last season. And despite being on the team for a year and a half now, has yet to play an official game as a Husky. So we're of course all hoping that that changes. That stat changes here in November as she'll be competing for a starting spot with Ayanna Patterson, Sarah Strong, and Ice Brady. And I think it's a very good possibility that if one of those players struggles, we could see Yana starting in a couple games. And I think
Okay.
she's very capable of being a starter on this team, starting forward slash center for the Huskies. She can definitely help with rebounding. Has good range of shooting as well. And if definitely not starting a good amount of games, she'll definitely be in the mix for a good chunk of minutes this season. And I think with that injury I brought up from last season, I think a lot of people are going to forget about Yana through the off season and maybe at the start of the season. But I really think she's a name that to look out for. Maybe the dark horse we talked about, Morgan Shelley possibly being the dark horse for the new recruits coming in. I think Yana El Alfy can be that underdog dark horse for the UConn Huskies this season, especially for the forwards down low. I think Yana can really have an impactful season, just like I thought she would last year before she got injured. But I really think this is the year for Yana. Fingers crossed that she can stay healthy. But I really think she has the possibility to be in for a really big season for UConn.
All right, thank you, Brian. And I know I had to shout out to you because you're coming on tonight, right after work. Let's all, everybody watching this video, just take your hat off for Ryan, or take your shirt. Well, I'm just kidding. Don't take your shirt off, but take your hat off. Just tip your hat, Ryan. A hard days of work, and you was able to come home, right? Do your research on Yana Al Alfie. Not only that, posting the video up for us. Thanks to Austin for all of his support in the backdrop on Listen Up. But Ryan, also the reason I bring this up, you're feeling under the weather. So I want everybody, and including me, I know Jason will comment away when I tell him this. I want everybody to wish Ryan the very best in the comments below. Ryan, we hope you get better soon.
Yeah, feeling better now, but still trying to battle my voice here, trying to get through this episode. But yeah, I couldn't miss this one. We tried to go on, wanted to go on during the weekend, of course, but yeah, feeling a little under the weather, but of course getting better now.
Okay, so back on topic, I am looking at Jana El Alfy on the highlights here. He did an incredible job, like always. The FIBA U19 group play highlights, averaging 21 points and 8 rebounds, according to this video that I'm watching. Jana El Alfy, Ryan. Now, one thing it stood out to me, uh, free throws. Free throws, and we haven't really talked about that in previous episodes of these other players. This is a player that I can't wait to see as far as getting down low in the paint, playing the forward position. Not only that, because I saw a video here on the highlights. Now she draws fouls, and that's what sometimes you need, right? She draws fouls, and again, we know how close some of these games may be, Ryan, especially when you talk about March, right? It could come down to a couple points. What's your take on that when you have that big body down in the paint? And she's not the only one. I mean, a lot of big bodies on the roster. But again, I think it's very important if she can't be as good as Aaliyah Edwards, which I think she has the I think she can really be as good as Edwards, if not better. But what I'm saying is, she's starting to struggle. This is her very first year on the floor. I think it's very important if she gets the opportunity, especially in close ball games, you got to make your free throws.
Yeah, and that goes for everybody. But of course, with Yana being listed at 6'5", and of course with Amari departing during the off season, that makes Yana the tallest player on the team. So yeah, of course she's going to get fouled a lot, I would imagine, during the season. So it's very important that she does make those free throw attempts. But yeah, hopefully she does draw a lot of fouls, maybe getting the other team in foul trouble. We're always worried about foul trouble over here for the Huskies because of, well, mostly because of the injuries, not having a lot of depth. But hopefully that doesn't happen for us this season. But yeah, I think for Yana hitting those free throws, definitely because she is pretty tall down there in the paint. Definitely need to knock those down during the season. But yeah, I think there's a lot of positives for Yana. Definitely some things she needs to work on. But I think in terms of her defensive skills, rebounding, and like I said, she has pretty good range from the field as well. So, like I said, I think Yana can have a pretty good season for us, and I think she can really be. I mean, she might even be the day one starter for us.
Here we go. Ryan's favorite part of the show, comment time. Lindsay Matthews said, Phil, if they stay healthy, the sky's the limit. You know that. Lindsay Matthews, you got to love it. Sometimes long comments, other times, Ryan, she just says it short and sweet. And sometimes less words are better.
Yeah, well, we don't mind the short and sweet comments, and she's exactly right.
You
And
tell
that's
me that. I'm the one going on all the time, right? You say, Phil, less words are better sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the way it's been for the past 3 or 4 years now. The sky's the limit if this team can stay healthy. So that's what we've been hoping for the past 3 or so years now, and we're hoping and praying that we can stay healthy yet again this season.
Do it with me, Ryan. Let me see. This is what I do. Can you do that with me, dude? That's what I do all the time. Coming up your house, you're like, here he comes again. Hey, how about Jason D'Amico? He said the departure of Caitlin Clark allowed UConn the rank of 2. I wouldn't look too much into this uh cursory evaluation though, because as you said, it is way too early. Regarding Caden Samuels, she would be foolish to leave UConn in the portal. The coaching staff at UConn is the best in the world, and Q needs a lot of work before she can realize her full potential. Nowhere better than UConn. Peace. Very quickly, Ryan, I'm not totally disagreeing with Jason D'Amico, but I mean, Amari DeBerry did not really get the experience that I thought she would before. I mean, I didn't know she was going to another school, right? But I mean, I just think again that speaks volumes how hard it is to first of all make the roster, but then get on the floor in UConn.
Yeah, the Caden Samuels episode should be pretty interesting. We'll probably talk about her pretty soon coming up here. But yeah, I think, she's obviously in a pretty interesting spot, obviously going into her sophomore campaign this season. I'd say she got a decent amount of opportunities last season, but we didn't really see a lot of impactful plays out of her. And I'm not sure how many opportunities that she'll get this season with how deep the team is. But of course, if injuries do happen, we'll probably see Cadence on the floor quite a bit, possibly. But we'll just have to see how the season goes. But yeah, I'm not really sure for Cadence Samuels this season how many opportunities, how many minutes that she's going to see off of the bench.
How about one more, Ryan? The disruptive one said ranked too high. And this was, I like this because he was talking about our last episode. This is regarding UConn Huskies ranked 2 in ESPN way too early top 25. And Ryan, he said ranked too high. I think we have more questions than USC does entering the season. UConn should be ranked 3rd at best, and Notre Dame, Texas, and UCLA could be ahead of UConn, and I would have no issue with it.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with that. I think the first rankings, or I know in the first rankings, they had USC at number 2 and UConn at 3. I think both of those are interchangeable. I think USC could easily be number 2. I think with Notre Dame, I think they got moved down because of Maddie Westbell being sidelined for the foreseeable future. As the season starts, she's going to be sidelined. So Notre Dame dealing with a couple of injuries. Yeah, I think big things out of Texas, UCLA. I think those teams will be pretty good. And I still think Notre Dame will be pretty good despite them dealing with those injuries, unfortunately, like they have been for the last couple seasons as well. But of course, we're all expecting USC to be very good as well with the transfer portal pickups that they had. But yeah, I think the top 5 or 10 so teams this year are going to be really tight, really close all season long. So I think for in the general scheme of things for women's college basketball, I think we're in for another really fun, exciting season.
All right, Ryan, I'll leave it at that. A UConn basketball podcast, but I had to hit you with this. You already know, just about an hour east of us, Bobby Witt Jr. and the Kansas City Royals visit Baltimore, Gunnar Henderson, and then Baltimore Orioles, the Major League Baseball playoffs. That is the reason why you need to get your sleep. Not because you're sick, but because October baseball is here. Ryan, let's turn the calendar to October 1st. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.